Welcome to the Stateless Standard, where we illuminate the truths of economics, power, and human liberty from the perspective of the productive people against the parasitic state. Today, we're diving into a question that challenges the very foundations of modern economic orthodoxy. Is John Maynard Keynes' celebrated theory not just flawed, but fundamentally insane? A crazy inversion of reality. In the wake of the Great Depression, Keynes argued that free markets are inherently unstable, prone to prolonged slumps if left unmanaged. His solution? Aggressive government and central bank intervention. According to Keynes, spending generates income. One person's expenditure becomes another's earnings. More spending means a stronger economy. When private spending falters in a recession, the government must borrow. This gave us ideas like the multiplier effect, where government spending supposedly creates more than $1 of growth for every dollar spent, and the paradox of thrift. Keynes's ideas seemed vindicated almost immediately. Roosevelt's New Deal poured resources into public works. World War II became the grand Keynesian experiment. Massive government spending on war revived factories. But let's pause here with genuine curiosity. What if this apparent success hides a deeper deception? Keynes himself warned that deficits were medicine for emergencies only. By the 1970s, stagflation exposed the cracks. High inflation alongside high unemployment, defying Keynesian tools. The ideas faded temporarily, only to roar back in 2008 and 2020 with trillions in stimulus. Now let's examine the heart of the matter, the missing piece in the Keynesian narrative: funding. Where does the money for all this spending truly come from? Consider a simple example. Consumption alone cannot create wealth. It consumes what has already been produced. Technology, labor, and resources matter, but only when backed by prior saving. Money changes nothing essential. What about government spending? The state produces no net wealth. Every dollar it spends is extracted from the private sector through taxes that discourage production, borrowing that crowds out private investment. Stimulus often works temporarily because the private economy has accumulated enough real savings to fund both genuine growth and government diversion. But drain that pool through persistent loose policies. Recessions aren't random catastrophes, they're necessary corrections. Loose credit and intervention distort production, directing resources toward unsustainable projects, malinvestments that consumers don't truly value. Blocking this process with more spending prolongs pain, sustains bubbles, and protects the powerful's cronies. Even Lenin grasped this in 1921, briefly reintroducing markets to avert Soviet collapse. From a libertarian class viewpoint, the stateless producers versus the statist extractors, the pattern is stark. Keynesianism isn't neutral management. It's a mechanism transferring control from wealth creators. The best policy in an intervention-caused slump? Do nothing. Let wealth generators keep their earnings. Allow interest rates to reflect reality. Permit failing activities to liquidate, freeing resources for better uses. Decades of reckless policies have damaged wealth generation and distorted production structures. More stimulus only delays recovery. True revival comes when entrepreneurs freely allocate resources per consumer wishes. Contrary to mainstream pundits, neither government spending nor central bank inflation grows the economy sustainably. They weaken it by diverting from productive hands. Poverty persists, not from lack of spending. Counterintuitively, the path to prosperity is liberty. Sound money, real saving, voluntary exchange, free from the state's coercive grasp. This is the Stateless Standard. Question the interventions that bind us. Thank you for joining this exploration. If it sparked thought, share it widely. Until next time, stand with the people against the powerful.